Hi, my name is Dami Oluwatoyinbo. I'm the founder of DreamStream and Dream Academy Global. And in this series of videos called Big Dreams, Big Impact, I'm walking you through the most essential things you need to reclaim that passion, excitement, energy for a big life, to escape that trap of insignificance and to become a voice and a force in your generation, producing massive value and helping others get ahead too. Now, we already covered some important things in video 1. I shared my personal story. So if for whatever reason you were not able to watch that, please look for video 1 and be a part of it. Watch it, take advantage of it. You will not believe. I shared how at some point I suffered from burnout. At some point I was so stressed out. At some point I was squatting with somebody. Now in video 2, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 major reasons many people play small. I strongly believe that our big God wired us for big things. Now, for big things, it does not necessarily mean you're going to become a billionaire today or tomorrow or even ever. Some of us, our destiny may not require big billions. But what is true is that God wants you to live a life that is expansive, that is roomy, that can accommodate greatness, incubate greatness, manifest greatness, and release greatness in others too. So what are the reasons people play small? If that is the divine design for us to be large, for us to be big, for us to be exceptional, for us to be extraordinary, why is it that some people just never get it right? Why is it that some people still go through life scratching the bottom of the barrel, trying to feed off the trough of other people, and they find out that feeding off the trough of other people is rough and will never give you the trophy? You got that? Why? Why is it that some people seem to have it great and others just hustle through life, hustle and bustle, and still they don't get ahead? What are some of the reasons? Have you ever wondered why? Of course, you can say maybe difference in giftedness and abilities, maybe background exposure, history, antecedents. But what is also true is that for every reason you give for smallness, somebody else has that reason in their lives, but they are saying, this is not me. So I usually tell people, anytime you're giving excuses, that is a quick way of excusing yourself from the possibilities of your future, from expanding your horizon and reaching to that height. Somebody can say, oh, I never grew up without my father, so I'm going to end up, being a drug addict, pushing drugs, not in pharmacy, but a different kind of drug business, right? But somebody else says, because I lost my father, I cannot afford to end up a failure. I cannot afford. So every excuse in your life is the reason for somebody else. Now, when you allow that situation or circumstance hold you back, become your prison, it's an excuse, it becomes your prison. But you can turn that reason from being a prison to becoming a platform for expansion. So I told you my story. I failed some courses. I had delays in my life. I squatted with people at different points as well. But I reclaimed my personal power and I began to do things differently. I'm hoping that that's what you're going to do from today. So real quick, the number one reason a lot of people stay small and play small is they dream too small. They allow their circumstances define their reality. They allow what they're going through become the reason they fail. They allow their background to confine their dream. So the very first reason is people just dream too small. Now the thing is, dreams are free. That's what they say. Of course, building the dream is going to cost you something. Just like anything of value is going to cost you something. A great marriage will cost you something. Great business will cost you something. Great ministry is going to cost you something. Great friendships, actually, will cost you something. But start with the dream. Don't allow the environment constrain, confine, limit, crash your dreams. Even if the environment has crashed your dreams, dream again. Like resurrect those dreams. Everything you're going through right now, and you're saying, well, I'm going through this and I can't, come out. You need your imagination to work for you, not against you. So things like worry, fear, anxiety, they're like viruses in the computer of your mind because they obstruct the flow of your thinking. they obstruct your creativity. But if you can spin it and just imagine what you will be like in 5 years, what you'll be like in 10 years. In the first video, I walked you through a 10-year journey of my life, a snapshot of it. And imagine if I just said to myself, oh, you know what, you failed a course, so nothing great can come out of your life. Or, oh, you were squatting with somebody, so nothing great can come out of your life. Or you didn't have enough money to publish your first book. I didn't tell myself that. Almost everything I'm doing right now is the offshoot and the offspring of just daring to dream. Just allowing your imagination to roam. Allowing your creativity to find expression, first of all, internally, even before you have the material resources to be able to flesh out those things or walk in those things. So yes, you might not have a passport right now. Maybe the only passport you have will not allow you past the port, which is the one that the photographer on your street will take, right? But dream! Just imagine a better life. Think about it. And you know what people say is they say like, all these things don't work. Well, maybe it doesn't work for some people. But if you walk through a proven template, a proven process, guidelines, and some other things I'm going to show you, they will work for you. Number 2 is many people have big dreams, great dreams, fantastic thoughts, traveling the world, adding value, delivering fine speeches, receiving awards on the red carpet, maybe even flying a private jet, giving hundreds of millions of dollars to charity, raising a generation, shaping culture, establishing ministries. Whatever you want to think about, that dream is not all you need. You're going to need clarity in terms of timing, resources, manpower, strategy, orientation, the multi-level impact of those dreams, the cost. Are you really clear on how much this is going to cost you? Because there are people who have a lot of big dreams, but they didn't have clarity about the degree of investment. And that's what happens sometimes, in some cases, where people have massive dreams and they're doing well in business, but their marriages are suffering. Why? Because many times they didn't factor in what it would cost, the kind of person they would have to marry if that dream was really great on their minds or was something they wanted to fight for. So if you have a big dream, but you lack clarity, you're going to buckle under the weight of that dream. You're going to become intimidated by the dream. You will get crushed by the weight of the dream. So apart from having a big dream, travel the world, give money to charity, get married, have plenty, 200 children, I'm just joking. You need clarity. Are you clear on the implications? Are you clear on the timelines? Are you clear on the extent to which you will have to pay certain prices, stay away from certain entitlements because of the weight and the worth of that dream? So you want to build maybe like an international fashion house. How? Where? When? With whom? For whom? What kind of fashion pieces do you want to put out there? You need clarity for your dreams. Number 3 is many people play small because they lack the right guidance and models. So you can actually be very clear about where you're going to. But if you don't know what turns to make, if you don't know what kind of fuel to put in the car, so you can be clear about your destination, but do you know somebody or do you have anybody in your space who's saying, well, avoid the pothole over there. Avoid maybe the thieves on the road. It's just a metaphor so don't get scared. Avoid the bandits or the terrorists on the road. You need guidance. You need models as well. And models are people who present in pictorial form, to some extent, the outline of your life, what you hope to be. Now, let me just tell you something. No matter how close somebody is to what you want to become in your life, they are not you and you are not them. You will never find anybody who embodies the fullness, the entirety of what God has designed it to be. And I'll tell you why. Many times when you have models in your life, and models are very important, but when you have models in your life, you're looking at them from a certain perspective and level of growth. When you evolve from that level of growth, you will see other things or see other things about them or other things about other people that may not be quite exactly what you thought you wanted to be, not necessarily bad things, but things that you wanted to be. But nonetheless, you're going to need guidance. You're going to need models. So teachers fall under this category, trainers, coaches, for some of you, therapists fall under this category. For some of you, pastors fall under this category. Do you have somebody who's holding you by the hand and saying, avoid this, do that? Are you investing in programs that are stretching your mind, your imagination, leveraging the wisdom of other people? People say the experience is the best teacher, but that's actually wrong. It's a very costly teacher. Why do I want to experience the hardship that somebody else has experienced before? And so there are two major ways to learn. Either you learn from mentors or you learn from mistakes. It's cheaper to learn from mentors, even if you have to pay them in certain regard. Number 4, people give excuses. And I touched on this earlier, but let me just emphasize this. People will say things like, oh, I don't have the money. Oh, I don't have the time. Oh, I don't have the favor. Oh, I don't know what to do. Then learn how to do it. There are many things I do today, and people are like, how do you do that? How do you design the graphics yourself? How do you design websites yourself? How do you write songs? How do you record songs? See, when I shot my first music video, I had never shot any music video in my life before. No member of my family has shot music videos before. But when something is important to you, you find a way around it. When I wrote my first book in 2008, I'd never written a book before. I'd never published a book before. What's ISBN? International Salesman of Books in Nigeria. Is that what it means? No. You find a way around it, right? Everything I've done in ministry, in business, in my family, in life, I had reasons, legitimate reasons why they shouldn't be done. But never allow your reason become your prison. Let your reason become the platform for your rising. So don't give excuses. And we're talking about Dream Academy and certain investments that some of you might have to make, and you might be like, oh, no. Watching this alone is value to you. And you know why I know that? Because you're still watching. If it wasn't valuable, you'd have turned it off already or clicked out of this page already. And you're watching this because you said no to something else. You said no to something else. Have you learned how to say no to yourself so you can release your greater self? Have you learned how to say no to the excuse so that you can actually be positioned for greater value? And number 5 is that many people procrastinate. So many people. The surest day for the execution of any project in the world is later. Do you know that day on the calendar? Later. So when are you going to write the book? Later. When are you going to get married? Later. When will you do your video series? Later. When are you going to sign up for Dream Academy? Later. Later, everything gets done on a later date in people's minds. And what happens is every time you procrastinate, you postpone a certain dimension of your destiny. Now that may be harsh, but it's the truth. What are the things that you've told yourself, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be there, I'm going to try, but you haven't done that. So what I wanted to do right now is to be honest with yourself and with me, which of those 5 reasons for smallness have you embraced in your life? Which of those 5 reasons of smallness or for smallness have you embraced in your life? Which of those 5 reasons have you said, I'm going to use this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do? Put that in the comment box right now. Just be honest. Don't form, don't impress anybody. Be honest. Now, don't forget that in the next video, I'm going to be showing you 6 pillars of an extraordinary life. But I really want to know what your answers are. Which of those 5? Is it dreaming too small? Is it the fact that you lack clarity? Is it the fact that you lack the right guidance and models? And maybe giving excuses and procrastination? That's why I want to be a part of Dream Academy Global. Why? Because all those 5 reasons are actually taken care of. If you're a part of this stream of training, you will dream big. You will get clarity. You will find the right guidance and models, bringing in the best facilitators, speakers, trainers that can help you on your journey, regardless of where you are. So I've shared my story. I will share more of my principles and patterns, but guess what? There is so much more. And there are other people who also have their own experiences and stories and journey. You will be able to learn from them. And of course, you will stop procrastinating. You stop giving excuses. Now, don't forget, tell me which of the 5 reasons, 5 things have held you down. And look out for the next video, because in the next video, I'll be showing you the 6 pillars of an extraordinary life. It's Dami over here, still on this video series on Dream Big, Big Dreams, Big Impact. Stay tuned. I'll see you in the next video.